guys, Dee here. How are we all doing? I hope you're doing well. So, we're back for another Plantmas, which I know I kind of got behind on, but I'm trying to make up some videos, so there should be a lot more videos coming from hopefully like this week into next week, like up until Christmas. So today's video, I thought I would just walk around and basically tell you about all the plants that I'm going to be getting rid of. I know some people can think this is like, oh my god, getting rid of plants, or you know, like it's a bad thing or something. But how I look at it is kind of like, plants are kind of like clothes. So you know, you have clothes that you've worn for years, but you kind of get sick of them because you've had them for so long. So you're kind of like, well, I've had you for a while, I just don't want you anymore, you know? I just don't like you as much as I did, you know, all these years ago. So that's kind of, I see plants in the same realm of, you know, you've tried, sorry, there's like crows and pigeons fighting in my garden over food, which is not meant to be for them, it's meant to be for the little birds, but they're finding a way to eat it and it's making me just really annoyed. Yep, yep, just stole some food. Ah, lovely. Anyways, that's kind of how I see plants as well. So I've had some of these plants for a little while, and you know, I did like them when I got them, but now I'm kind of at the point where I know I have a little bit too many plants and I'm just struggling to keep up on the care of all of them, and I'm just at that point, like, if you don't bring me that joy and that like love looking at you, then I just don't want them. And I just don't want them anymore, you know? It's just as simple as that. And it's not said that I'm gonna throw them away. I mean, I did throw away like 2 plants because I got sick of looking at them. It just got to that point where I was just like, I don't want to look at you anymore, and I tossed them. So it was my Calathea, whatever, the white and pink one. It just didn't look good. It just wasn't looking good, and I couldn't be bothered to start again from the bottom. You know, I could have chopped it all off and just let it regrow, but I was just like, no. Haven't got the time for that, just don't want to do it. Tossed it. And then my Pepperoni jelly, Pepperoni jelly, I'll put a picture up. But that one, I never really liked it. To be honest, the only reason I bought it is because I went into the shop and I was like, oh my god, I've been in here for ages, like I can't not leave without anything. And that was like the cheapest plant, I think it was like £3 or something. So I was like, oh, you know, I don't mind, let me buy that. And I just hated it ever since. Like, I literally brought it home and I was like, why? Why did I buy this? You know, it was just something I really didn't like, and I've been staring at it for probably about a year. I mean, like, I really dislike you, I really want to get rid of you. And then it just got to that point where I was like, I can't even be bothered to sell you. I just chucked it. I just really just chucked it because it was just, oh, just looking at it just did not, you know, give me like nice vibes. I was just getting like really annoyed at the plant, and so I just tossed it. But for all these other ones, I'm pretty much probably going to be selling them. I might be gifting a few, depending on if anyone of my friends want them. I can just be like, hey, you want it? Take it. But majority of them I probably will be selling, just to give them on to a new and better home. So, you know, if you're also on that kind of vein where you just don't have the time anymore to take care of like loads of plants, or you just honestly don't like it anymore, then like, you know, it's okay. I know that because I know there was like a thing in the plant community, some people kind of being like, oh my god, how could you do, and it's just like, they're just plants, man. You know, like, yes, we love them, but at the end of the day, they are just like plants, you know? So yeah, that is my opinion on it. So yeah, now we're just going to take a gander around and show you all the plants that I will be probably getting rid of in the spring. Not now because it's freezing and there's just no possibility of shipping out plants. I'm not confident enough in my own ability to be able to do that, so I'm going to wait until, you know, the temperatures are kind of like, you know, perfect for like shipping plants. So yeah. Alright, so we're in my plant room. What we'll be getting rid of is the Flutonias. I have this one, can't remember the name of it, and then I've got like these 2 back here. Now, I love these plants, like this one especially, it's gorgeous. Like, oh, just look at it, I can see it in the camera. It looks amazing. But they are so dramatic, they are water hogs, and I can't be bothered. I really just can't be bothered to deal with it anymore. Like, I have to water this guy probably, what, every other day? I know it needs a repot because whatever this is potted in, which I think is like peat or something, it's just not retaining the moisture, so I do have to water this guy very often, and I don't have the time to do it at the moment, and I just don't want to, you know. I don't want to, because obviously the more this keeps flopping, it will eventually get to the point where it won't recover, and I just don't want that, obviously. So I'm just gonna, unless I get my terrarium set up by then, which I doubt, but they're gonna go. They're just gonna go because they're drama queens and it's just not worth my time. So on that vein, we have the Begonia Benefiba, and oh my god, right? I love this plant. Like, it's gorgeous, if it will focus. Like, the colouring and everything on this, like the palmate leaves, it is gorgeous. But again, this is such a water hog. It is ridiculous. Like, I have to actually water this guy every single day, and even sometimes then it's not enough water and it will flop, and I will stick my finger in the soil and it's bone dry. I just can't deal with it. I literally cannot deal with it. Like, this plant stresses me out so much, and while I love how it looks, I don't want to be, you know, I just don't want to be dealing with that stress. I can't deal with it. So it's gonna get sent to a better home, hopefully. I'm not sure, or it might just go in the bin eventually. It's kind of just at that point where it's really just looking at it just gives me anxiety. So yeah, oh, it's really unfortunate because it is so pretty, but just can't do it, man. Just can't do it. We have all of my kind of like Sidium Twinkles up here on this shelf. Now, they are gorgeous, okay? I love the blooms, I love the scent, but otherwise they just don't really do a lot. They bloom once a year, and I just feel like they are a lot of effort to have just bloom like once a year, you know what I mean? Then we have my Calissia rosato. Sorry, there is a chair in the way. Now, this thing grows like a absolute weed. So I gave this a really big haircut, hoping that it would, you know, grow more compact, grow more bushy. You know how you see on Instagram or whatever that they have this gorgeous plant. Oh my god, though, no, it did this. Like, can you see the mass that this is? This like crazy ass plant. Literally, it's just insane to me. And this was done, I think, what, a month or two ago that I gave it a really big haircut, and this is how like quickly it's grown. I like it. I like the plant. It's definitely a lot more easygoing than the not Tillandsia, the Tradescantia Nanook, but it just grows. It's not growing how I like it. And so I'd rather get rid of it and utilise the rest of this space for like cacti, because that takes up quite a big space, like quite a big shelf space on here. And so if I get rid of that, then I can just bring like some other like rearrange, and then I can again just put plants that need to go where they need to go. Does that make sense? I said I was talking about the Tillandsia Nanook. This is what my one looks like, and honestly it's because it's on the shelf that I just don't really pay attention to. I just don't really care about. It dries out. I just don't keep up on the watering, which is why there's all these brown leaves. It's gorgeous. It is like a gorgeous plant. It's got this gorgeous like purple undersides of the leaves. I'm just not into it. Like, I was into it before, and now I'm just kind of over it. It's not that it's even difficult to take care of. It's not. It sits here in a corner, and I feel like there's no point in having something that you can't really see and enjoy. This guy needs so much water. Oh my god, I haven't watered this guy in a while. What is this? Watermelon peperomia. This plant is gorgeous, and it is a little bit finicky to take care of. It is. It's thirsty. It's, again, another one of those plants that is a little bit thirsty. I probably let it go too long without watering, and so it would probably need a repot. But again, it's on a shelf that I don't really see. I don't really get to appreciate it, and it's just, there's just no point, you know? Again, there's no point in having plants that I can't see and appreciate just to have them to fill a space. So while it is gorgeous and I do still like it, it's not bringing me like that joy that some of my other plants that I have do. So this will be one that I will probably be getting rid of. But look at that is really gorgeous. It does look like a watermelon, doesn't it? So here we have, while I'm here, is the Hoya Rotusa, and yes, you can see my little, what do you call that, step thingy, because I use that to reach up and get those plants down so I can water them because I'm too short to reach up there. As I was saying, the Hoya Rotusa, I really like this because it has single blooms as opposed to like my Hoya Carnosa, which has like a cluster of blooms. This only has like one. I did like the texture at the time, but now the more I look at it, the more it just seems really messy to me, and I don't like that. Like, this is just, it just looks like really messy hair, and I don't like this. I don't like how, like, you know, how messy this looks. It's just a bit, it's just putting me off. It's putting me off wanting to have it. And even when it's hung up, I still feel like it looks like a mess. And I've seen this in other people's videos on their Instagram, and they make it work. They somehow make this look really good and make it look just, you know, stunning. But for me, I've tried it hung up, I still don't like it. Even like this, not hung up, I just don't like it. I don't like the texture that it brings to this area, to this space. And another one that I will be getting rid of is this Aloe Snowflake. And I really like this. I do like this plant. I still really like this plant. But I don't like how it grows. It's just a bit too big. I have like, but if I had to choose between like this aloe and my Denny's, can you see that? All the way kind of back there, my Denny's. I would choose the Denny's over this one. And that one is just growing a little bit more compact. It's a little bit more round. This one just kind of growing all over the place. I think we actually have 2 propagations here. So there's 2 plants that you can make out of this. It's like, I like the patterning, it is nice, but again, I'm just not in love with it anymore. And every time I look at it, I'm just kind of like, eh. You know, I'm just not into it really anymore. Like, I can appreciate it, but it's not something I want to look at anymore. And I think someone else can probably love this a lot more than I can, because it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's cool, like it looks like a starfish now that I look at it, but yeah, just eh. The lighting is going to be terrible because it's really kind of, it's dark outside and I have no other light, so I'm kind of using my grow light to help illuminate this area. This I'm not getting rid of per se. So this is a Fatsia Japonica. Oh my god, yes, you can see the nutrient deficiency so bad in this leaf. It needs to be repotted again. I've already repotted it, but oh my god, that is definitely like chlorotic or something. Oh my god, need to deal with that. But this is a Fatsia Japonica, and these can actually grow outside. They do need to be in a protected area. Come spring, I'm gonna like acclimatize it to outside and just see how it does. If it dies, then you know, oh, whoops, it dies. But if it survives, then that would be great, because I think this would make a really nice shrub where I want to put it. So that's what's going to be happening with this one. And then we have this boy, this bad boy. This is the Dracaena. Oh, what are you? Dracaena. Oh my god. Tricolour? Something like that. So it's got the 3 colours, pink, green, and white, if it wants to focus. And as you can see, so it's got a really long stem, and then it's got, you know, all of its fronds, but it keeps losing fronds further and further up, which I think will then just leave me with like this bit. So I don't like its growth habit. And honestly, I have like some other Dracaena, so I've got like that one back there, the Marginata red one, which, I don't know, again, they're not my favourite. I love the texture of them, but like this one is just the growth habit, because I know that they're gonna just keep dropping more and more leaves, and then it will just be more of a bare stem with just this top. And I think that just looks stupid, and it gets neglected because it just kind of sits in a corner. And then we come to this bad boy. So the Ficus Elastica Taneki. Now I love this plant, I do. I love the leaves, I love like their shape, their colour, their texture, all of this, but this is starting to grow. Like you can see, it's quite tall already. So obviously this is a tree, and it will be going into a tree. I don't have the space for something like this to grow. So when it's still this size, that's fine. But I know it's just going to get bigger and bigger and will require a bigger and bigger pot. And I don't have the space. Like eventually when it starts to get, you know, probably when it reaches the banister, that's too high because there's already so many other plants here. It's just not, it's going to be too big. And I knew that when I bought it, and I was like, I can enjoy it for a couple of years. And I think now it's been a couple of years, I do really like it, but I won't have the space to keep it. So I'd rather give it again, sell it to someone who has the space for a plant like this to grow into, because it is gorgeous. Like, oh, look at it. It is so gorgeous, but unfortunately, I just don't have the space for it. So, and then another plant that I'll be getting rid of is my Philodendron Birkin, because I do not like how this grows. Again, it is just so awkward. Like, look at this, look at this. And I've tried to take such good care of this because I was obsessed. Like, this is a bit dirty, but I was obsessed. Like, the veining, it's gorgeous. Well, it was gorgeous to me, but now every time I look at it, I'm just like, eh. It just doesn't bring me that joy. Like, look at this leaf. Like, look at that. That is so nice, but I'm just not into it anymore. You have my, in the dirtiest close, this is my Anthurium, what is this? Crystallinum. This was growing really well. It was going, I was like, yes, I'm gonna have more than one leaf. 3 leaves. Don't know what happened. They all fell off. Oh, I remember. No, I do remember what happened. They got thrip, and then they died. And yeah, and then something else happened to one of the leaves. I think it got like a bacteria or something, and then I had to cut it off. So we're left with like this one leaf, and now it is growing another one, but it's getting very long to be in this pot. So I need to get like a longer pot. But honestly, trying to rehab this guy, it's just taking up too much time and effort for me. And I don't really want to be doing that. So I think if someone else can take this and rehab it, you know, that wants to spend that time and effort on doing it, then, you know, all the more power to you. I've been trying, I think, for 3 years to rehab this thing and, you know, hoping that, you know, the leaves will get prettier and bigger and etc, etc. It's just not, it's not working out how I wanted it to. So yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to like pass this one on. I don't know how many plants that is, but it's quite a few plants. I think probably 10, maybe a bit more than 10 that I'm going to be getting rid of. Maybe 11. I am considering getting rid of my Ibisa as well, just because the way it's growing, it's just really weird. I'm not enjoying it. It's like growing like bulbous and long, and I know I've seen the mature Euphorbia Ibisas, that's how they kind of do grow, but I prefer the little baseball. And now it just looks, it's just looking a bit weird for me, to be honest. But yeah, that is a couple of plants that I will probably, oh yeah, and all my twinkles, so more than 10 plants that I'll be getting rid of. And I think once I do get rid of them, it's just going to kind of be like a weight lifted off of me, and just knowing that someone else out there will love them and care for them, I hope, will, you know, they're not just going in the bin, so they are going hopefully to another loving home. And again, it's just one of those things, you know, you grow in and out of plants, and that's okay. So like I said earlier, if you are in that position, it's okay to get rid of plants. Like, don't feel guilty, don't feel bad about it. It's just one of those things. If you, I mean, you know, even if you've been a plant, honestly, like, don't feel bad about it. Like, yes, it's your money, but it is your money that you've spent. And if that's what you want to do with the plant, then that's what you want to do with the plant. At the end of the day, it is your plant. And if that's what you want to do with it, you know, there shouldn't be a problem with that. I don't think anyone should be shaming anyone for doing what they want to do with their plants. So, yeah, that's just my, my thoughts on this. And, again, I won't probably be doing a majority of this until the spring. So I will have to be like looking after these plants over the next, you know, what is it, couple of months, but I think I can do it. It's gonna drive me a bit insane probably. Luckily I don't have to do anything in the garden, so I don't have like, you know, so many things to look after. Are there any plants that you guys are considering getting rid of, or, you know, you just don't want it anymore? Are you going to be gifting them? We are at the gifting season, so, you know, if you know any family members or friends or whatever that have taken a fancy to one of your plants, you know, will you be you know, giving them off and giving them away. Otherwise, I think that's it for this video. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you are all doing well out there. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you guys soon with another one. Bye!